I just want to take a few minutes to show you how I use Sketchup to mock up a molding pattern. Here I'm going to be doing a three-piece base molding that was done in my dining room, and it was done first of all set up through Sketchup to get the overall look and feel that I was after before I actually did the real pieces. So here's just a quick SketchUp model of what that was going to look like, and then here's a photograph of actually the finished product. You can see they're very close together. So I'm just going to walk you through. The whole thing is just a few minutes long of how I arrived at this in SketchUp. I have a bunch of SketchUp models of millwork that I kind of painstakingly extruded. Here's a bunch of crown molding types, and there are also a bunch of applied moldings, base moldings, trim moldings, casing moldings. I've got a zillion of them as models, and so that I can take the profile off of any of these or a combination of any of these and make a piece of millwork. So here are the three that I've colored white here. This is just a 1x6. That's going to be the main part of the base. Here's a little base shoe, and here is sometimes it'll be called a base cap, sometimes it'll be called something else, but this is the way I built that base. And so once you have these shapes down, you've made your choices and you've extruded these to kind of get a feel for what they look like. Here I'm just exploding those, or I'm copying those groups, and then I'm going to explode them in order to make a unified single shape that I will be using the Followme tool in SketchUp to follow the contour of the room. So I'm just erasing the seams between these pieces. You can see that. Just erasing the seams, because all I really want is that profile. And so I'm going to take a copy of that profile here, and that's going to be the thing I use with the Followme tool to bring it around the room. So there's the profile that I'm after. Next, once I design the room, and here's the room with no base molding, I simply take a copy of that whole room, place it over a flat plane like this, then select the plane, and then choose the Intersect Faces tool. And you'll see that once you've done that, you remove the room and it's left an impression or a template. And this is the line that you want your base molding to follow. So I'm not having that base on the exterior of the room. I'm not having that base go through that door opening. I am having that base, however, follow these columns. And so I'm erasing these lines so that I'm going to have the shape that I want the base molding to follow. And you're going to see here just in a minute, I'm going to demonstrate that Followme tool now using this, so to speak, template. So I'm going to go get that profile, and here's the profile. I'm going to take a copy of this, and I'm going to bring it over to that template that I've created in that flat plane. First, I'll stand this profile up. I'll rotate it 90 degrees to get it in the plane that I want it to be in when I bring it over to that other model. And then I'll go ahead and take this profile and drag it over there onto my templates. And here's one corner of the room where this is going to be used. I will also take a copy of this and put it on I've got to get it right on the line, because the Followme tool will follow this line. I'll take another copy of this, take it over to this part of the room, set it on that line. I'll take a third copy of this, and I'll rotate it 90 degrees and put it on this final template so that the Followme tool will create these 3 sections of the room exactly. So there it is in place. Now all you do to use the Followme tool is to select the path that you want that profile to follow. And here I started here by just selecting these lines using the selection tool. I'd forgotten that if you just grab the whole shape, you can select just the bounding edges. And so you'll see here, I'll reselect this in a moment. Just select the area, select the bounding edges, hit the Followme tool, and here's the fun part. Once you hit this Followme tool, it's built that entire section of your molding. Take another shot of that, soften the edges so that it takes care of all those lines, all that hidden geometry so that the curves look smooth. Make a group out of that section of base molding, and you're going to see I'm going to drag this later over to the model to complete the model with the base molding in place. So that's that first group. The next one here, I'm going to select that line, this line, and this line. Again, apply the Followme tool to that section of the template. There's all of that base molding done. Again, select the whole section of base molding, soften the edges, save it as a group, and that's going to be dragged over to the finished model. And then finally this third section, again select the lines by using the selection tool, grabbing all those lines, highlighting them, apply the Followme tool, and here we go again. There's that section. Again, select the whole section, soften the edges to get rid of the hidden geometry to make curves smooth. Make a group out of it, and this will also be carried over to the drawing. Now, I seem to find that the easiest way to drag these over is to do it from the bottom, because then you kind of know where you are on the map or on the model of the room. So I just select that section of base molding by its corner, place it on the same corner on the finished model, select this section of base molding by one of the corners, and then drag it over to the finished model. And then finally the third section of base molding, grab it from underneath as well in one of the corners, drag it over to the finished model, and you'll see that we now have the room completed with base molding. Perfect fit, true to life, exactly the molding profiles that are available from the Millwork store. Again, a 3-piece base molding using a 1x6, a little base shoe, and a base cap. And you get a model that is very, very accurately true to life as to how your finished product is going to look. So here's the model. Here's the real deal. Here's the model again. You can see how exacting these models can be. Here's the model of another corner of the room. And just a still shot of the model. And then a more detailed still shot from the model. And later I'll do another video on how to make these columns, but here's the column kind of finished out a little closer to the way it really is. So there's the model in SketchUp. and then here is the photograph of that same corner in real life. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching. Please subscribe.